Welcome back everyone, I'm Capeless Games, this is EVE Online, and today we're going to be fitting another battleship for level 4 missions. We do only have a few battleships left. We have 5, here they are in alphabetical order. They are the Abaddon, the Apocalypse, the Armageddon, the Tempest and the Typhoon. So all 3 Amar battleships and a couple of Minmatar ones. This has not been done on purpose, this is just the way that the random number generator has thrown things at me. So hopefully today we'll get an Amar ship. Let's find out. Let's actually consult the random number generator. And we're going to say minimum 1, maximum 5. Generate us a number. Number 5, okay, fair enough. The random number generator must be obeyed. And indeed, it's telling us we're going to be building a Typhoon. Interesting. So let's open the fitting panel, find a Typhoon and get down to work. As always, we will start by looking at the traits of the ship. And these are: per level of Minmatar battleship bonus, 5% bonus to rapid heavy missile, cruise missile and torpedo launcher rate of fire. That's telling us it's definitely a missile platform. And that's a DPS because it's rate of fire. And 7.5% bonus to cruise missile and torpedo explosion velocity. And that is damage application. If you have seen the missile mechanics video on this channel, which I shall link in the top right hand corner of your screen right now, you will know that what you want is smaller, faster explosions. So this thing giving you 7.5% faster explosions per skill level is really rather nice. And as always, it has the same roll bonus that every battleship has these days. Just gives extra bonuses to raw hit points when adding armor plates and shield extenders and bulkheads. Not that they are of much use in level 4 missions unless you're going to do a passive shield. Next up, we'll take a look at the high slots. There are 7 high slots. There are 6 missile slots and 6 turret slots. So you can ignore the missile trait if you want and fit it with turrets. I'm not sure why you would. If you wanted to use turrets, you'd use a Maelstrom or a Tempest. So this is definitely a missile ship. So 6 missiles will occupy 6 of the high slots, and the last one can be utility for something else. There are 5 medium slots, which is not bad. You could do a shield tank with this. Because it has no bonus to armor or shields, you can pick whichever one you want. But we do have 7 low slots, and 7 is more than 5, so that leads me to think armor tank. And the usual 3 rig slots with 400 calibration. Drones, it can have 100 megabits a second, which is 4 heavy or sentry drones, and it has 125 cubic meter drone bay, so that means indeed we could fit 4 heavy or sentry drones and have a full flight of 5 light drones on board as well. So I'm thinking this is probably going to be another long range sniper. I know it's what we usually do, but that's just the way that some ships are best done as. So let's get down to work. Modules wise, we're going to go to turrets and launchers. Missile launchers, we're going to do cruise missiles because I did say this is going to be long range. And that means we're going to want at least 3 Tech 2 ballistic control systems in the low slots, and maybe a missile guidance, at least 1 missile guidance computer in the mid slots. Tank wise, we're just going to be quite boring and normal, and we'll do 1 reactive armor hardener and 1 large armor repairer. And we shall do a large compact cap battery to run them both. The cap's not stable, but we weren't expecting it to be. And we'll do a large micro jump drive. Now we still have lots of power grid left over and lots of other things left over as well. Let's investigate the charges. We'll go for Scourge Fury missiles, just because even though Scourge Fury are the high damage, air quotes, short range ammo, we're still getting 124 kilometers on these things. The targeting range is only 103. So we're going to have to fix that by fitting a sensor booster or signal amplifier. I'm thinking maybe a signal amplifier would be better. Not only does it push the targeting up, but it also gives us more maximum lock targets, which means we don't have to have an auto targeting unit doing that up here. And that means that up in the high slot, we can put a drone link augmenter, Tech 2, which will push our drone control range out to 84. Now if we want this to be a sniper, and we want to use drones all the way out to our sniping range of around, what, 124 plus, say 130, we're going to have to get our drone control range up more than 84. So let's go into rigs, drone rigs, large drone rigs, and we're going to need, where is it, drone control range augmenter, 104, another Tech 2, put it up to 124. That's the same as the missiles, so that's pretty good. Right, now we know what we're playing with. Rigs wise, let's just finish off the rigs with a large cap rig of some description, whichever will fit. That'll fit. 11, 12 minutes with a semiconductor Tech 1. Okay, pretty good. Now what else can we do? We do have another low slot, so I'm thinking we'll finish the cap with a cap power relay. Right, that's stable, that's pretty nice. We do only have 28 CPU remaining. I was hoping to get some more weapons upgrades in here, so we'll have a look at maybe a second missile guidance computer. No, that's going to put us straight over CPU. Okay, one thing we could do then is to unfit the cap power relay and fit a coprocessor CPU module on this instead. That gives us all the CPU we're going to need. And then that will let us round off the cap with a cap recharger. Okay, it's stable, just stable at 25%, which isn't really stable. And then we can either do a second missile guidance computer or a drone guidance computer, which I think is probably what we're going to do, which is the omnidirectional tracking link 2. Cool, that fits, it's still stable even with that. Now let's actually put some drones on this thing. Drones, sentry drones. Bouncer and Warden are the long range ones. Bouncer do explosive damage and Warden do kinetic. Almost everything is better off being shot at with kinetic, so we'll put 4 Warden 2s on this ship. And as I said, we shall round it off with 5 Hobgoblin 2s. There we go. So the Warden's range is now within 129, which is fine. That's their fall off range. Optimal is 81. So they're going to work fine with their targeting range at 134. Drone control range 124, so that's fine. Missile range 124. This is all looking pretty good. I think the missile guidance computer can just get a precision script in, because not only is the ship itself getting 7.5% bonus to explosion velocity, but this will also add even more. Yeah, another 16.5 explosion velocity and 16.5% smaller explosions. So this thing should be pretty accurate and apply its damage really rather well. So I think this is the fit we're going to go with. That was a very easy fit to throw together. I'll go and buy that and then we'll have some fun. Actually, take a look at the price. It is under 400 mil, so for a battleship, it's relatively cheap. Alright, we finally have ourselves a new ship. Even though I usually do these videos in a trade hub, there were no Typhoons available and I had to go all the way many jumps to buy this thing. But we have it, so let's run some missions. I do like the look of Typhoon, it looks pretty cool. The paint job is a little bit rusty and patchy, but other than that, it looks pretty cool. As I said, let's get a mission. Alright, we've been given Serpentis Extravaganza. This is quite a good test. It's 3 rooms. First 2 rooms are pretty much point blank. The last room is kind of mid-range. This is going to be fine for this ship. It's considered one of the harder level 4 missions. That's why we're getting 1.29 million ISK if we do it, and another 1.05 if we do it within 6 hours, and over 6,000 loyalty points. Let's accept and get the show on the road.
Warp drive active.
Right, we are in the mission system. We're on the way to the mission. On the way, we'll have a look at the skins browser, see if we have any good looking skins for the ship. Wow, okay, we have quite a lot. This one will be the best looking of the 5 different skins we have. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Quite like that. So because we know it's cap stable, we can just turn everything on and be super lazy. It won't be cap stable if we jump around too much. Then the cooldown on the micro jump drive should prevent that.
Warp drive active.
Right, let's get into room 1. And here we are. There are 4 groups. This one here is the one you want to get rid of first because it's annoying little frigates. And then you kind of want this one in the middle. I believe attacking this center group triggers another group just below it. We shall see. Let's just fire some missiles at the frigates, put our light drones out. Once the frigates are aggressed, oh no, there we are. Attacking these frigates to spawn more guys behind them. So what we'll do is that we'll stop firing our missiles at the frigates, unlock a couple of things here. And then we'll have to lock up everything that's behind the frigates. And our drones seem to have stopped firing at the frigates for some reason. Well, the targeting didn't work at all there, did it? Okay, I think these are elite cruisers. Yes, Corellian Chief Safeguards. Though luckily they don't have huge elite resistances, so they are dying fairly quickly. Wow, very quickly indeed. Drones, kill that. So even though we're firing cruise missiles, which are definitely long range and not very good at damage application, due to the traits and the guidance computer, we're actually managing to apply just fine to cruisers at least. Okay, then we want to come up here and get all this lot. Well, notice we've taken 1% shield damage so far in this room. Bring the light drones back. And we'll put out the wardens and we'll see if the wardens can't snipe these destroyers. No, they're missing because they're a little bit too close and a little bit too small. So we'll put the wardens on the battleship. The wardens do contribute just under 200 DPS of our just over 1000 in total, so they are actually contributing a decent amount. Because this ship does get bonuses to rapid heavy and torpedoes as well, we could have refitted it with them, like a 100 meganewton afterburner and a full rack of rapid heavies, to be kind of like a mid-range brawler. Because the Typhoon is the second fastest battleship after the Angel Cartel Macarial pirate battleship. It gets about 400 meters a second with an afterburner, which I think is pretty good. I think we'll just put out our drones to get these Guardian veterans now that they've aggressed us. Or of course, you can actually fit this with torpedoes and a 500 meganewton micro warp drive, in which case it gets about 1100 meters a second and 1500 DPS. So it is quite an adaptable ship. Just don't fit it with turrets, for goodness sake. Do always try and take advantage of whatever traits you've been given by your ship's hull. Should reload before we open fire on that battleship. All the drones are doing fine. The enemy frigates did not re-aggress our drones, so that's good. And missiles always look so cool when they fire. Nice. So we'll put the wardens out, see if the wardens can't pitch in. But we'll get the wardens to just destroy these personnel transports, which are part of the last group. Even though we're armour tanked, the shield is still about 60 odd percent full, 67%. Alright, the drone's killed something. We didn't even bother using our large micro jump drive. So I know what this mission's like, I've done it many times before. And this ship is getting over 1000 DPS out to 124 kilometers for a price of about 400 million. It's really rather efficient for the cost. Just 2 more ships to go in this first room. In fact, I think I'll turn that armour rep off. All it's doing is wasting capacitor. Let's have a look at this guy. Yeah, he's just kind of bouncing off the scenery. So he's nice and slow. Jolly good, there he goes. Right, just reload the missiles as we go to the next room.
Warp drive active.
And you could easily loot and salvage in here. I'm not going to bother. I believe you get something about 17-18 million in loot out of this on average, with about 13 million or so in bounty, but we shall soon see. Right, room 2. Again, we spawn right on top of the exit gate. Lots of smaller ships down here and 3 battleships up here. There is a reinforcement wave that spawns somewhere. I can't remember what it is that you attack that triggers it. So I think we'll put 2 missiles on each of these cruisers because I think they're going to be pretty squishy. And we'll put out the wardens and see if they can't actually snipe these destroyers for us this time. Oh, looks like it, yep. Not bad going, guys. Alright, how about battle cruisers? Can you snipe battle cruisers? Kind of, sort of, but not really. Well, they're chewing through it, so we'll leave them to get on with that, and then we'll bring them back and we'll put out the light drones to get rid of the annoying frigates. Shield's taking a bit more of a kicking this room. That's to be expected. Okay, the drones are missing an awful lot because it's a little bit too close for them. Right, light drones out. I'll just put 1 missile on that one. He's probably going to die to one hit. Half shields warning, but we don't care because we're an armour tank. And we should start shooting at things in order of distance. I should probably turn on the armour rep. We're about to hit armour at any point. Right, drone's only got 1 small target left to destroy. And there goes another battleship. And here comes the reinforcement wave. So we'll bring the drones back, just in case they get aggressed. And we'll put out the wardens, and the wardens can just start working on this core port admiral, which is a little bit further away. Tank's holding steady. I'm sure the reactive has gone to 30 and 30. Yes, it has. That's good. So our resistances are only 55 and 48 in this ship because we do only have the reactive armour hardener. Then if we really get into trouble, we can just escape with the micro jump drive. Usually I would have hit that as soon as we landed in this room, but I know this mission's not that hard, so I didn't bother. Will we run out of ammo before this dies? No,
The
just...
module has run out of charges.
We shall reload. We'll get the drones to try and snipe these frigates for us. Why not? Let's see if they can do it. Oh, that looks like a no then. The drone's optimal range is 80, so anything inside that is going to be negatively affected by their tracking, and their tracking is absolutely appalling at 0.01. But they are hitting that frigate, so hopefully the frigates will have aggressed and will be on approach, so their angular velocity will be close to 0, and then the drones will hit them. A little bit like that. Jolly good. Ah, nicely done, drones. Nicely done. Yeah, I think that last frigate might be a little bit too close for our drones. No, okay, I was proven wrong. Well done, drones. Well done indeed. This battleship's just absolutely disintegrating, which is always a nice sight to see. See, even our drones are getting solid 3-figure damage notifications. Very nice indeed. Even though it's well under the drone's tracking. It's only 13 kilometers away, the drones are still hitting it just fine. Right, jolly good, that's the end of room 2. On to the final room.
Warp drive active.
Right, we spawn right in the middle of a big ball of bad guys, which is a little bit annoying. But then, missiles don't really care about range. Put out the light drones to kill off these 4 destroyers as quick as they can. And our missiles don't have to care about being too close for tracking purposes. So it's 4 battle cruisers, 4 destroyers and 1 battleship right up in our business as soon as you land. Once they're taken care of, this room's an absolute breeze. The drone's out so we don't drift outside the control range or the recover range of 2,500 meters. Because one of the best things about this kind of setup with cruise missiles is that you're equally effective at this range as we were at point blank. Missiles don't care how far away you are. All their application equations are done when the missiles hit the target, so the missiles don't care how long it takes them to get to the target. And the tank is almost all the way back. Perfect. And that's another battleship dead. That's 2 battleships since we landed at this perch. And the drones are doing a fine job against the cruisers. There is another reinforcement wave in this room when you attack this guy, who is a named NPC. He's not elite, he's not a commander, he's just got a name. As soon as you attack him, he spawns a whole load of battle cruisers and frigates and spider drones. So we'll take everything else out before we shoot at him. We'll just shoot at him with the drones. In fact, you know what, we'll just get the drones to switch aggro to him, just to trigger that wave so I can target things right now. And there's the spider drones. One of them's a little bit too far away.
A module has run out of charges. A module has run out of charges. A module has run out of charges. A module has run out of charges.
And there's the battlecruiser wave. Ah, good, that even though we ran out of ammo, that ship still died. Right, drones, kill the spider drone. Me, 2 missiles on each of the battlecruisers. And here's the frigates. Okay, the frigates have aggressed us, that's good. That means we'll be on direct approach and the drones will be able to pick them off very easily, we hope. Okay, so I forgot that when we had the missile precision script in, we were cutting our range to about 107 kilometers. That's why the battle cruisers suddenly stopped taking damage, because they were out of range, that's why. Right, let's see if sentry drones can hit spider drones, even though spider drones are on the approach. Yes, but also no. It's fine, we'll let the spider drones get within light drone range. There we go. Bring the sentries back in. Put the light drones out, and they can go and have fun with the spider drones. Spider drones are really annoying, they're really, really hard to hit because they move so fast. Our little hobgoblins will chip away at them until they're dead. Can probably put the precision scripting back on now to get bigger damage numbers against the battleships. Not that you should need them against battleships. Right, there's no more reinforcements, that's all the reinforcement waves triggered.
A module has run out of charges. A module has run out of charges. A module has run out of charges.
Alright, that's it. Everything's dead. Jolly good.
Warp drive active.
So we only had to jump once. Other than that, an absolute cakewalk. Alright, first mission handed in, second mission offered, and this is the right hand of Zazzmatazz. I'm sure we've done this before on this channel a couple of times. It has a decent amount of damage, but we can warp in at range, so that's going to suit us right down to the ground. 536,000 this if we complete it, 585,000 more if we do it in just over 2.5 hours, with just under 3,000 loyalty points. So accept, and let's go. So to pick the range at which you arrive, you warp to location and you instantly stop the ship. and you right click in space, select the agent mission, and then you can select your warp in distance. So I think we'll go in at 100.
Warp drive active.
Because you actually land somewhere around 50 kilometers from the bad guys. So we're going to land within 100 kilometers of that 50 kilometer beacon. And depending on which way the site is oriented in space, we're either going to be 120 kilometers away from the bad guys or 50 the other way. You're never quite sure, so let's just turn the tank on and be ready to click micro jump drive. And indeed we have landed. Let's see. Yep, 1,000,000 miles away, which is fine because I believe 134 is our targeting. Yeah, 134.6. We're not getting the targeting reticule on that, so we must be just outside that. Now it's inside, let's target the frigates. These frigates are elite and they will change aggro to your drones, so we'll just pick the drones out and get them to snipe the frigates as we have a go at all these cruisers. Usually the first thing you kill in this mission is the battleship Zor, because he does do 1,000 damage per hit. I believe his rate of fire is only 4 or 7 seconds, but it is 1,000 each time. I'm just going to destroy all the cruisers because we don't want them to get close, because almost everything in this mission does a lot of damage up close, which is why I wanted to be this far away from them. Alright, looks like the drones are doing well against the frigates because the frigates are on direct approach, which is nice. Right, one cruiser down. And I think we'll go for this assassin. These are mercenaries, so I believe that kinetic's going to be the best thing to shoot them with. Yeah. Well, maybe explosive would have been better for that particular one. And how about Schmidt? See, they're all slightly different. This one's best against EM, actually. Wow, weird. Okay, now these other frigates are trying to get themselves involved, and we don't want that to happen, so we'll target them and get the drones to go and play with them. Tank's holding fine because we're picking off cruisers. Yeah, this one's actually weakest to thermal. Look at that. Wow. Something that's weakest to thermal. You don't see that very often. Not very often at all. Come on, drones. Kill the frigates. There we go. One more to go. Tank is holding fine. All the drones have split fire for coding reasons. One good thing about this mission is that this battleship Zor always drops an implant. There are 2 versions of that implant. One of them is worth essentially nothing, and the other version is worth a couple 100 million, or at least it used to be. So Zor's custom navigation link is the cheap one, and Zor's custom navigation hyperlink is the one you want. He always drops at least one of them, so it's almost good to run this mission. And loot his wreck and see what pops out. Okay, drones have finished that. They can start on Schmidt, and I'll start on the other battleship that isn't Zor. And the outpost headquarters, this is what we had to destroy to complete the mission, and it also drops some random loot. It is marked as a Dead Space Overseer structure. So I think that as soon as Schmidt is dead, and maybe... No, we'll wait until Schmidt and Sven McClary are both dead, and then we'll micro jump drive straight towards the outpost headquarters.
A module has
Alright, that didn't take long. Bring the drones back. We'll just approach the outpost headquarters. And then we'll be off. So I'll open fire on Zor just now. And over there. Nice. Right, Warden's out. Kill Zor, please. Oh, that's not going to last very long, is it? I'll get them to shoot both headquarters. There he goes, he's dead. I'm just going to save location on his wreck. I'll just warp away to an asteroid belt and come back. It's probably quicker than slow boating 32 kilometers in the other direction. Because the mission site is not going to despawn until I hand the mission in. And just give it one volley of missiles. See if that'll encourage it to explode. Yep, that looked pretty good. But dead. And we'll save location on this as well.
Warp drive active.
And because it's mercenaries, every single ship in this mission does drop something. That's another reason to run it. Right, so I went back and had a look in his wreck, and he only dropped the custom navigation link and not the hyperlink. As we see, estimated price 10,500 ISK. The hyperlink is still selling for 85 million, so it's always worth doing missions with Zor. There are two missions. There is the one we did, the right hand of Zazzmatazz, and there is the damsel in distress. The same guy in the same ship with the same loot table drops spawns in both missions, so every time you see them, always run them. A, because that guy might drop an 85 million ISK implant, and B, because it's against mercenaries and everything drops at least something, so it's always good for loot. Whilst I was there, I had a little look in the other battleship wreck and the wreck of the station structure we blew up, and we got about 2.5 million in various large battleship sized modules. So not a bad haul after all. So that is one way that you can fit a Typhoon. As I said, there are many other ways. I'll show you a couple of different ones right now before we finish this episode. This is the Rapid Heavy Missile Fit. I'll load some Scourge Fury Heavy Missiles and it gets 1315 DPS. Speed 413, no slouch for a battleship. And the range of the missiles is about 58, so it doesn't have to move all that far at 400 meters a second to get these missiles into range. And it is using heavy drones, which will attract a lot of aggro. If you take the heavy drones out, it's doing about 1100 DPS with the missiles, and the missiles reload in 35 seconds. So you may wish to remove these ogres and replace them with hammerhead mediums, or you may not. And there is also the torpedo version, which is fitted like this. We'll put some rage torpedoes in. As we see, 1512 DPS. The range is only 29, so it has a micro warp drive to get into 29 kilometer range, and it is going a shade under 1200 meters a second, which is fast for a battleship. And again, it's using ogres, which will attract lots of fire. So again, you might want to take the ogres off and do it with medium drones instead. I will post both of these. I will post all three of the fits in the description below. But as for now, that will do it for this episode. I do like Typhoons, and they're very adaptable. So come back and see which ship we're going to fit in the next episode. Do look after yourself until then. I'll talk to you again very soon.